Morning everyone. I found some wood around the house and built myself a new cold frame for outside, and I got some soil heating cables. So I'm going to install these and hopefully we can have a lot more success with some propagation, especially in winter. What I'm going to do is put down about an inch of sand, and then I'm going to do a 2-to-1 sand to peat moss mix for another 2 inches about. So it's just regular multi-purpose sand. I got all the soil in on top of my heating cables, and I just plugged them in. It's 3 degrees outside, and if you can see, but it's reading around 8, above 8 degrees. So that's pretty good. I'm not sure what they're supposed to get up to, but it has an automatic thermostat when the temperature drops below 74 degrees Fahrenheit, which I don't know what that is in Celsius. So it's only turning on when it needs to, which is good. Let's do some winter cuttings now. So I've got some big juniper trees at the side of the road. I pulled over and got some cuttings off of them. And then these, I think, are some sort of cypress or whatever. They're kind of like cascading looking. And they look like, I don't know, like fuzzy and fluffy. Some sort of shrub. So we're gonna do those. And then I've got some river birch and some white paper birch, and then we'll see what else I can find. Oh yeah, we got our Christmas tree yesterday, and it's a balsam fir, and I just learned that balsam fir, the needles kill ticks over winter. So I want to start planting them like all around the perimeter of our backyard here, because we have a lot of ticks and there's a lot of Lyme disease. I think actually this area is the worst in Canada for black-legged ticks and deer ticks and Lyme disease. So I'd like to plant some balsam fir all around here. And we trimmed up the Christmas tree yesterday, so I'm going to use the trimmings to do cuttings. I was recently reading some studies from, like, I think they were the 40s on cuttings of spruce trees, and that's where I got the info for this, for using 2 parts sand to 1 part peat. And then was also reading that the lateral branches have the most success rate for rooting. So if you think of branches, the end tip of the branch is not what you want. You want ones that come off of the side and go sideways, which are the lateral branches. So I'm going to be using a bunch of them, like up to 4 inches long probably, and then I'll take all the needles off the bottom third or 2/3, and then dip them in rooting hormone and plant them. And hopefully these will work. Especially now we'll have the soil heating cable. So basically the top of the plant will hopefully stay dormant in the cold weather and snow, but then like the base of the cutting will be kept warm and still be active. So hopefully it'll root a bit faster. And I guess we'll see in the spring. Because either way, evergreens and just winter cuttings take forever to root. So I kind of prefer to do it this way because it's kind of like a set it and forget it. You don't even really have to water them too much, as long as you're not in a windy area and they're protected. But we're on the north side, so indirect sun. They're kind of sheltered from everything, but they get a bit of rain and snow. You can kind of see the line of where the rain stops. So I'll put all my cuttings in, water them in, and then we'll let them be. For these junipers, just because of the way they're joined here, I'm going to do heel cuttings. So that's basically just stripping off like that, and then it leaves a little heel. See, it's kind of like an L shape. peel off some of the extra leaves, and then bam, that's my cutting. So I'll just prop a whole bunch of these like that, and then start putting them in the ground after I dip them. Ow! Jesus, these are sharp. Oh, there's another one. Alright, gloves. Okay. So I took these cuttings probably like 2 months ago, and I just put them in a wet paper towel in a Ziploc in the crisper in the fridge, the spare fridge. But I'm gonna do the same thing, heel cuttings. Yeah, because they look like cedar. They are cedar or cypress, one of the two. So heel cuttings. Cool. Okay, I just did some birch cuttings, just plain white birch. So you'll see I do a little scar along the end there, and I'm kind of doing all different sizes just to see, you know, what works and what doesn't. I've never done birch, and well, I've never got birch to work. So I'm gonna probably plant them in order of size and see if any of them root. But yeah, I was kind of, see, score one side. And then some of them I also just did like slices you can't even see, just to try and break down to the cambium later. And then hopefully they'll grow some roots. Alright, so next one is balsam fir, which, let's take that. I'm just gonna do heel cuttings with this. So, rip it off. Oh, that's a beautiful heel. That's pretty long, that's like 7-8 inches, so I'm just gonna cut the top off, the sides. We'll try that. Using light. Rooting hormone. Wilson's Roots gel. one end at the top. You can see a node right there. See if we turn it, there's a node. So I'm going to cut an angle just a little bit. And then we'll give it a little more surface area. And then I'm just going to use my pruners and do a little slice. And that just gives it more area to scar so that maybe it will grow roots there. Okay, so these I saw on the side of the road, and I'm talking like out in the middle of the country. I believe it's some sort of fir because it has like the two-tone bottom side of the needles, but it kind of looked like a monkey puzzle tree. So I don't know what kind this is, but I pulled over and took some cuttings. And we're gonna try these too. Try heel cuttings. They are not sharp needles at all. They're rounded. Hey everyone, so it's mid-February and I've got a whole bunch more cuttings going. I just put in some red twig dogwood right here, and then some weeping willow, some sort of cedar, the rest of the juniper that I put over here somewhere. I had all these branches laying around, they're still looking green, so I'm gonna throw them in, see what happens. That's the same with all of this stuff around here. Unfortunately, I have found, I think I did the first cuttings of this December 2nd, and now it's mid-February. We've had probably two snowstorms, which is extremely unusual here. Normally we have snow pretty much all winter. So I have had to keep watering these. I think the sand I got is too fine. It's not holding water. So what I just did is I put down a layer of peat between all the rows, and hopefully that'll help retain the moisture. Oh, I also noticed something I never thought of with soil heating cables. They're providing warmth, right? Well, some sort of little critter burrowed underneath these containers, and there's like tunnels. You can see one of the heating cables and the tunnel underneath there. So I lifted them up. I don't see anything except the tunnels, except there was a newt that started like trying to run away. So I put everything back, and I'm gonna let it survive in there. But anyway, I will probably keep adding to this as I find things that I want cuttings of. Like I'm keeping my eye out for a really good specimen of blue spruce, you know, on like public land. And that's the main last one I want to get. So wish me luck. I'll report back in the spring, and hopefully we'll have some roots. Bye.